Jeffrey, I feel like I used to hate that name so much, but now I'm understanding the name.
Mr. Williams, good morning, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Given what's been proffered thus far, I'm gonna set him for no bond at this point in time. I'm not gonna grant bond at this point in time. I'm gonna deny bond at this time.
What does that say about the state of the culture?
I don't think it says anything about the state of the culture. I think what does it say about the state of our judicial system? And our country constantly reminds us every day how you are Black. You have a permanent tattoo, therefore you will be treated differently in this country.
Now is the time to plot, plan, strategize, organize, and mobilize.
But keep your feet underneath you. Keep moving.
What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now!
When it's Black men in America, is it often guilty until found innocent?
Absolutely.
Tell me about that.
Absolutely. I think that, the Black men have always been, the criminals or the villains that society could hang their hat on. Anytime there's a crime being committed, if someone says a Black person did it, they stop looking for any other option.
If we don't get it, shut it down! If we don't get it, shut it down!
Unfortunately, Black men in our communities, in the poor sections of our communities, have been socially, politically, and economically and academically alienated. I wonder why, as a community, we're not seeing the bigger picture of, is that our culture? I think as a community, we're missing an opportunity to actually evolve our culture and change some things systemically.
We are going to prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law.
He is the one that we're all afraid of. He's the one that's king slime.
Why does hip hop oftentimes feel like public enemy number one in courtrooms? Is it because it's misunderstood?
Well, for one, because it's honest.
Growth is a hell of a thing when you're allowed to grow.
I'm going to deny bond at this time.
This is a system not built to help you. I was a part of the problem myself. I grew up, single parent home, hood, locked up at 18, faced, all types of consequences because of my actions.
They don't want to see themselves as being part of the problem. They don't want to see themselves as ignoring a community that needs help when they have an opportunity and an ability to help them. It holds the mirror up.
But nobody's tackling the thing that causes all of this stuff, which is lack of education, poverty, value systems. Nobody wants to touch that stuff.
But why isn't this story being told?
Why isn't this story being told? Why is that story being told so much? What I have seen is a young man bring himself, his family, and the people around him up from nothing. And he's been selfless in doing so. That's what I saw.
This has been a conversation that's been happening for a long time. And what people like Kevin Liles are trying to do is connect the dots of societal issues and how this is a multi-layered problem that needs to be addressed systemically.
The violence erupted after the acquittal of 4 white policemen in the beating trial of Black motorist Rodney King.
We thought we saw the worst of it with Rodney King, but now we know we didn't. But now they're locking us up because of the very lyrics that 90% of the world loves today. We still have a systemic racist problem here in America. And I think that Protect Black Art is a movement to help get through this side of it, but that we have more things to deal with.
So you look at hip hop, you listen to it, you're influenced by it, but do you really understand what you're listening to? Do you know what it's a reflection of? Do you know what that person survived?
They're not trying to protect you, but you should be trying to protect yourself. The game is, to be honest, get in this, get all the money, all the relationships, you know what I mean? And then go do something that can fortify generational wealth.
Listen, guys, this is what he does. I've been how to rap. Nobody didn't believe me.
You could say this is a deep dive into the life of Jeffery Williams. You could also easily say this is a backwards domino effect into how we got here today and how we're hoping to spark the type of conversations that we're not seeing in the headlines.
Willis's case has proved controversial not for taking on violence, but for something she's doing in court, criminalizing art, poetry, and lyrics as evidence.
It's not justice for all. It's justice that's to make it make sense for those of us who are not us.
These are serious times. They're serious allegations, and it is my opinion that violence in our community deserves maximum penalties.
I just want to say thank you to all my friends and my family for coming out and supporting us. And your support during this time means a lot to us.
Jeffrey, I feel like I used to hate that name so much, but now I'm understanding the name.